Okay, this is a kind of an interesting lesson using what we call image sprites. And what that means is that you can take a entire image and you can actually chop it into pieces or use sections of the image on your website without having to, say, take that image and put it into like Paint or Photoshop and break it into individual pieces and upload those as individual pieces. And that's pretty neat because what that enables you to do is use the same image, but then take portions of the image for buttons or for things you want to decorate your site with or what have you. But you only have to use one image, and the real benefit of that is that you don't have multiple images loading on your site. You just have one image. And so let me show you how that works. First off, I'm going to show the web page, and you can see here this is one image with six little what we're going to call sprites. Okay, these are sections of an image, and you can see a home page icon and an arrow icon, another arrow icon, and then down here is that same icon a little darker, and that's really for like hovering over it for it to change the way that we do with opacity or what have you. But so you have this image, and what we want to do is only use this right here. We only want to use the house image, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Before I do, I want to show you that I'm using something called a transparent image as a placeholder, and right here I just wanted to blow that up. There is an image right here. If you right click on this, you can see there's an image, or you can see that the browser treats it like an image. And so when I just wanted you to see what it is that I'm using. All right, so let's go in here and see what's going on. First off, you can see that I've linked to this image, this nav sprites image from W3 Schools. Okay, so that's the image that we're going to use. And then here is that transparent image. Why are we using that? It's because we're going to use CSS, Cascading Style Sheets, to replace this image, this transparent image, with the appropriate portion of this image right here. But in order for us to start off the web page and not get that box that says, well, you don't have an image, we have to specify an image. So we're specifying this blank image for each of these images right here. Now you don't see anything right here. There's nothing here because all we're seeing is this transparent image. But we're going to fix that real quick. So first off, we're going to create an ID. Now remember, we haven't been doing that much with IDs. We've been doing mostly classes, but this is an ID. So an ID, you use a pound, and we're going to say sprite 1. And what we're going to do is we're going to specify how big the image we want it to be. So I have this that I know that this is a width of 44 pixels, the sprite that we want to use, and a height of I think 43 pixels, and we'll test that out. And then let's see here. And we want to specify that the sprite has a background URL, background : URL. Here's the image that we want to use, right? That's the large image with 6 little icons that we're using down here. And then the key thing is what position, what coordinate do we want to start with? And so we're starting from the first, or the 0 pixel from the top and the 0 pixel from the right. So what we're doing here is, and let me save this because it'll be valuable to show. So I'm going to save that. So you can see here that what I did was I told the browser that I want to create an image right here where there once was this transparent image. I want to replace it with an image that has the following attributes. I want it to be 43 pixels wide, I want it to be 44 pixels high, and I want it to start from right here. I want it to get right here. That's the 0. 0 from the top, 0 from the bottom. Okay? So we can see here that those are the attributes that I give, and the background that I want to use is this. All right, so let me just show you. I'll just play around a little bit here. Let's make that 50. What would we expect to see if I made that 50 pixels? It would be more width of the background icon, which is this hover. So you can see here I start to get this line that would be right here and a little bit of the point of the arrow. All right, so let's take that back to 44. And then what's next? We want to do the next sprite. Let's sprite 2. Now we're probably going to do the same width and height. We're going to use the same background. We just need to have it be from a different part. All right, so here, this is the horizontal axis, the 0, and then this is the vertical axis. So what we need to do now is we need to be a little bit over about as much width as we have. We want to go that many pixels over along the horizontal axis. So this says width is 44, so let's say negative 45, and that will be, see if we get there. All right, so the goal here is to get that next icon. All right, so we're coming in here and we specify that it's negative 43 pixels from the left, and then 0 pixels from the top, and that's the one that we want. That's the sort of sprite that we want to carve out. Okay, so we see we get this image right here. Now we want to do one more, and it is sprite 3, same width, same height. We just want to go a little bit farther, so let's see if that's about right, 91 pixels. And you can see here that what we've done is we've created, on the page we have 3 separate images, but they're all the same image. Okay, we've just taken portions of this one, we've taken portions of this image to create this sprite, portions of this image to create this sprite, portions of the image to create this sprite. And all is to decide on which one we want and put it onto the page. Okay, so do that. Just, you can play around a little bit. Make sure that you remember to put pixel here, because you don't put pixels here, but down here when you're putting your coordinates, what we call your XY coordinates, your horizontal x-axis and your vertical y-axis, make sure that you put negative 43 pixels. Okay, good job.